Right? I want to prove the same point. Now we mean Jerusalem. You already know. They say, let me go right here. Let me get my apocrypha first. I'm going to grab my apocrypha, go in the book of Baruch. Till I recall it. Let's go right here in the book of Baruch. Let's go in the book of Baruch. Right. So the virgin daughter of Babylon is not literally, is not talking about like Rome. It's not Rome. It's talking about what? Because this land was virgin until the native Indian came over here. And who defiled it is Esau-Edom, right? When they came over here, they slaughtered the native Indian, right? You already know. They slaughtered the native Indian, they raped the woman, right? Stole the land. They've done all the dirty and weakness. Because the Most High said, listen, blood defiled the land. He said, once the blood defiled the land is going to spew you. So you got to understand. Let's go in the book of Baruch chapter 3. Right. Let's go to Baruch in the Apocrypha, right? They prove the same point as I was saying. Baruch chapter, this is the book of Baruch chapter 3, right? Let's go to it. I'm going to go to chapter 4. This is the book of Baruch chapter 4 and verses 14. It reads, Baruch chapter 4 and verse 14. He said, let them that dwell about Zion come and remember ye the captivity of my sons. So you got to keep in mind. So now when you follow this voice, you can see, so the earth is being portrayed as a woman. Hey, buenos días, hermano. ¿Cómo está? Right? You see that the earth is being portrayed as a woman. Right? Let me read it slowly. I'm going to read it slowly so everybody can get understanding. Right? Let's go to it. Say, let them that dwell about Zion come and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters. You see that? My sons and daughters. So the only person who can claim sons and daughters is always what? The woman. Now right here is the land. Is the land Zion. Yerushalayim. Alright? Let's read. He said, which the everlasting had brought upon them, the everlasting, the Most High Yahweh. Who allowed this to come upon us is the Most High, because we did not listen to the Most High. We did not listen to the Most High, and that's the problem of our people. The so-called blacks, Latino and Native Indian, so-called African American, so-called Nigerian, Beninese, Ghanaian, based on your father. You gotta understand, that's our main problem. We do not want to acknowledge our sin, our iniquity before the Most High. We're always finding excuses. We always want to use excuses. We always want to give excuses unto the Most High. We cannot operate like that. We cannot prosper. The Most High placed curses upon us for disobedience. The Most High said, if you don't hearken unto me, you don't keep the commandment, I'm going to send your enemy against you. Esau-Edom. All right? And that's what before our forefather. And that's what continues to befall us until this very last day. And it is not going to change until we wake up, we repent, and we serve the Most High. That's the only way, man. Some of y'all, you believe because you're making big money, you work for the CIA, you work for the FBI, you work for Microsoft, you're the CEO over here, you work for Hollywood, you're making big money. Some of you think that, yeah, well, that'll make you good. No, it ain't going to make you good, man. That ain't going to make you good. Because at the end of the day, when you die, your soul, you got to worry. Where is your soul going? Where is it going? Don't just worry about the weakness that you're learning in this world. No. So let's read it. This is Baruch chapter 4. This is Baruch chapter 4. And we'll read verses 15. For he hath brought a nation upon them from far. A shameless nation. You see that? A shameless nation. Okay, that's Esau-Edom. They don't have no shame. They came over here, right? Kill baby, adult. They're telling women to do abortion, right? That's what they do. They don't care. Some of you think that Esau care about you. Esau does not care about you. Esau does not care about you. A lot of you out there, you simple of our people, so-called blacks, Latino, and Native, you think that Esau care about you. Esau does not care about you. Esau does not care about you. Esau is all about his business. He's all about his agenda. What is the agenda of Esau? He said, well, let us cut them off from being a nation. When you go in the book of what? Psalm chapter 83. You go in the book of Genesis chapter 27. That's how it was from the beginning. Right? He said, I'm going to cut them off. He said, well, the day of mourning of my father is at hand. Then when I slay my brother Jacob. So understand that, man. Don't you know what happened when Yahushua was born? Esau was scared to death, man. Herod. He was scared to death when Yahushua was born, man. And what did he say? He said, go inquire for me of the boy, the little baby, what is he born at? He said, when thou find him, bring me word, so that I may go and worship him. No, he was lying. He was going to kill Yahushua Mashiach. And the Most High already revealed unto his servant, man. Though it be secret, guess what? The Most High revealed unto the father Joseph. He said, take the child and with his mother and flee unto Egypt. Go blend among the Hamites over there. So keep that in mind, all right? It's a shameless nation, so they ain't got no shame. They ain't got no shame. And of a strange language. Because when they came over here, right, you got to keep in mind, in the 1400s, when they came to America to answer it, guess what? Our forefathers, the native Indian, and the southern kingdom that were living among them, they did not understand what Esau was saying. They were speaking a strange language. They were speaking Spanish. Some were speaking Portuguese. Some were speaking English. Our people did not understand. They did not know. But today, some of them, they think that when you talk to them, you say, listen, man, what is the language of your forefather? They're quick to tell you Spanish. I said, no, man, your forefather did not speak Spanish, man. They speak Hebrew. They speak different language that derive from Hebrew. From the Hebrew tongue, you gotta understand. But our people simple, right? When they came to West Africa, Shalom King, when they came to West Africa back in those days, guess what? It's like my great-parents, they told me, when we were a child, my great-parents told us when Esau, when the so-called white men, when they first came to Africa, to West Africa, they saw that our forefather, they tied the elephant to the tree. And they were amazed. They were shocked. They said, wow, you can't tie an elephant to the tree because guess what? He'll root the tree and cast it somewhere. But so they realized that, guess what? These people, they're spiritual people. So they did not like it. With the first one that came, that's the history that my great-parent, my grandmother, they taught me when I was a child in West Africa, right? In the land of Judah. In the land of Judah, which is today is known as what? Benin, right? So he said when they came, when the so-called white people, when they came to West Africa, they saw that our forefather, they have the elephant tied onto the tree. They're like, how can that be? So they get jealous. So what did they say? They say, you know what? They unite. They're very, very spiritual people. We got to divide them. How do we do? They start bringing what? The bling, bling, bling. Right? Bling, bling, bling. They start bringing bling. They bring like fake jewelry. They start bringing gun. They start bringing gun and giving it to one another and to our people. And then boom, they saw what is called. And our people, they start going off in West Africa. They start going off and they start selling one another. They start betraying one another. Our people were doing that, man. There is a lot of music that I know. And this music they're singing in language derived from Benin. I'm not joking. Like if you understand this song, you will say, well, these are Israelites. They literally tell you when you listen to this elder and this singer I'm talking about, they're dead now already. The vast majority, they're dead. But when they listen to the song, they tell you that what? That Esau came and took our slave and emptied the whole Africa. They literally tell you in the song. They tell you that captivity have finished the African continent. It wiped out the so-called black or the so-called Negro. It wiped them out, slavery. Captivity. But why did this happen? Because we will not listen to the Most High. We won't keep the commandment of the Most High. We don't want to keep the commandment of the Most High, right? So you got to keep in mind, Esau, he's a shameless. He came over here, he'll rape your wife right before you. That's what they did, man. That's what they did. They'll come to your house and dictate you what you got to do. They'll come over to your house and tell you what you can do. Imagine, they stole the land from our forefather, the so-called native Indian, right? And all of a sudden, guess what? They call the same people in their own land illegal immigrant. Imagine that, man. Shameless nation. They don't have no shame, because if they have shame, they should never, ever, ever call anybody illegal in this country. Never, ever. But they don't have shame. And that's what the Bible says. Let me read it. Let me read it. It says, a shameless nation. Because if you have shame, you cannot steal my house, and you got to tell me in my house that I am illegal in my own house. How do you break that down, man? You gotta be so shameless. Like, they don't have shame. They can kill you right now and sit down with you on the same table and eat, man. We don't operate like that, man. Shameless nation. Keep in mind. And of a strange language, who neither reverence or man nor pity child. So they don't care whether it be a baby. And guess what? It's because I have things on my, guess what? I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show it to the brother and the sister. Let's show it to the brother and the sister. Right? It might be graphical, right? But the brother, they can see. You see that? That's Esau, a shameless nation. Shameless people. You see that? They don't have no shame. You see that? That's what they do, man. You see what they do? That's what they do, man. You see what they do? They don't have no shame. They come over to your land, your house, and kill you in your own house, man. And see, call your children that are left over there, see, call them what? Evil. They see, call them what? Bad. Watch this. This is what they've done, man. Come on, y'all. Be running around talking about what we're teaching here. Let me show you who's teaching here. Let's see. This is the shameless nation, man. You see that? This is the shameless nation. Genocide. You see that? Genocide. That's what they do, man. You see that right there? This from the book called The Conquest of the New World. They tell you that they conquer. You see that? It's very simple. But the people say they discover. They conquer. They did not discover. How can you discover a place where people already living? People got civilization, right? How can you discover? It doesn't make no sense, man. All right? So watch this. You see that? That's Esau. You see how they grab the baby by the leg and they smack the baby against what? The tree and the rock to kill the baby. That's what they've done, man. Esau done that. This is what they've done. That's Esau for you, man. They have no change. They have no change. They have no change. It's the same thing. Let me read you this. Let me read you this. Because the scripture say right there, right? Let's see what the scripture say. The scripture say what? The scripture say, no pity child. He said, who neither reverence or man, no pity child. So you gotta understand. They don't care. Whether it be a baby, that's what they tell you can kill, you can abort your baby. Right? Pharaoh Joe Laden or Joe Biden, whatever you name it, your God, he just told you that you can abort your baby. He just told you, black, Latino, and Latino, you can kill your baby. He said, I'm going to open the door gate for you. Go ahead and kill your baby. You want to slaughter your baby? He said, yeah, you're welcome. Go ahead and do it. Right? Let's read what they're doing. Let's see. This is in the 1400s. He said the Spaniard, that means the so-called white people from Spain, okay, they're still living here in America. Some are living in California. Some of them living in Florida. Some of them living in Virginia. Some of them living in Maryland. Some of them living in El Salvador. Some of them living in Peru. Some of them, they're still living over there. The children continue in the same weakness. All right? The children still continue, all right? Because they're the one that took over the land. So we understand that a lot of our people, when we see them, we think this is the Northern Kingdom. Actually, they're Esau, man. A lot of our people, sometimes we think that the Northern Kingdom, guess what? They're Esau. Because the father bloodline go back to Esau. It go back to the so-called white man. That came from Spain. That came from the Portugal. That came from France, Germany, England. Understand that, man? So let's read some of the evil that they've done against the native Indian. The Spaniard, okay? The Spaniard, the so-called white man from Spain, okay? They don't call themselves Spanish, all right? And this is a slap in the face of a lot of our people that are simple. A lot of our people that call themselves Latino, where they don't know any better. You call them, they call you Spanish. By themselves, they call themselves Spaniard. You see that? Because they're telling you that the word, the surface, ISH, it just means pretending to. That means you are not literally from Spain. But they say you are a property. Spanish. Right? It's like the people stole our true identity. The synagogue of Satan, they call themselves what? Jewish. They don't say that they are Jew. They say they are Jewish. They wish to be a Jew. And guess what? They didn't have, it's not by coincidence. It's not by design. The Most High moved the Spirit upon them. The Most High want them to pick that name. The Most High does not want them to call themselves Jew. No. The Most High literally want to make sure that, you know what, they got to call themselves Jewish. So my people, when they wake up, they will understand. So when you take orthograph classes, right, or basic grammar, you understand the surface, ISH, is what? Is forcing, falsifying, pretending to. It's not the original. Okay, blackish, reddish. It's not red. It looks like it's red. So you gotta understand, to Spanish is different from Spaniard. It's two different words. The word, first of all, is the language. And on top of that, it was put on Northern Kingdom, right? To stereotype them. Like you are the property of Spain. So these people, they call themselves the Spaniard. So the Spaniard took babies. Who did they took? Babies. They took babies. You see that? The Spaniard took babies, right? From the mother's breast. Imagine how wicked you gotta be to take a baby from the breast of his mother or her mother. Imagine how shameless you gotta be. That's the number one, eh? Hold on, let me read it again. This was prophesied in the book of what? Deuteronomy, chapter 28. Prophesied in the book of Jeremiah. It was prophesied in the book of Leviticus, chapter 26. It was all prophesied throughout the Bible, but people don't believe it. So the Most High, He bring it up to you. Since you don't believe it, the Most High say, I got it. You will believe it. When it happens, you will believe it. Because our people do not believe. They don't. They believe all the lies they see on the TV, the basketball game, right? The soccer game, right? The NFL season, right? They believe all those nonsense, right? But guess what? When it comes to the word of the Most High, they always doubt, man. Our people always doubt it. Let's read it. He said, for He hath brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation. That's Esau-Edom, man. They don't have no shame. They don't care. They'll drop bombs on you and say, we sorry. That's what they do, man. Don't you see the million that they wasted? The taxpayer money. The denizen that work hardly every day. The poor denizen in this kingdom that work hard every day. Some of them, they break their back. Some of them, they got diagnosed with cancer. Some of them, they got to go to surgery because they're lifting up, working. They got so much, like, disease. And they took the poor people money, which is literally stealing. They steal from the people. The government stealing from the people. They take the taxes, supposedly, right? And take the money, what do? They go give it to the synagogue of Satan. They go to war with it. They blow like billion, trillion in Pakistan, Afghanistan, Yemen, all these places, killing people, just killing people. They take the money, the taxpayer money, instead of using the money to help the people pay for the rent, instead of using the money to help make sure that the people, they'll be able to pay for the mortgage, things like that. No, they'll take it to go to the war. Why? Because Esau was blessed with blood. He was blessed with violence. That's the blessing he received from the Most High, man. They don't have no shame. You see, he said, and of a strange language, who neither reverence old man nor pity child. They don't pity child. Do they pity child? Why would you take a baby, grab a baby, babies from the mother's breast, grabbing them by the feet and smashing their head against rock? Who did that? Esau-Edom, man. Don't you see them right there? Look at them. You see that? They don't care about you. Huh? Is that what you think? You think they care about you? Oh man, you simple, man. They don't care about you. Understand? They pray every day that we all die and perish. That's their prayer every day. They pray that we all die. If something can happen now, and all the so-called blacks, Latino, and Native Indian be dead from the face of the earth, man, listen, Esau, he be celebrating all day long. Listen, without ceasing. He be celebrating all day long without ceasing. Understand? He said they built a long gibbet, long enough for the toes to touch the ground, and prevent strongly, and hang 13 native. They hang how many? 13 native. There we go, man. The Chinese didn't do that, right? They have done it, but not like this. This level is for Esau, man. You see that? It really said 13 natives at the time in honor of Christ our Savior. Can you believe? And the 12 apostles. Where in the Bible did Yahweh Mashiach say to do that, man? Where in the Bible did the Most High commanded that we rank 13 people? Where in the Bible, man? You see, that's what we tell you. This is Babylon, man. This is Babylon the Great. This is the virgin daughter of Babylon. Because the land was clean. Who polluted the land is Esau-Edom. What do they do? Over 100 million of our forefathers. Over 100 million just of Northern Kingdom. And then you got 60 to 80 million of what? Southern Kingdom. The so-called African American, the so-called black, that were murdered by the hand of the so-called white men. Here in America, in Babylon the Great, in the Caribbean. But our people, they don't care. They say that's a long time ago. They say we should forget about that. I got a job now. Esau gave me a job. I got a job from Esau. And I got paid $65 per hour. Don't worry about that. We cool now. Guess what? The Most High is not like that, buddy. Your way, your thought, another thought of the Most High, you got to keep in mind. With the Most High is what we call judgment, justice. So the Most High got to bring judgment, justice upon Esau-Edom, man. Upon the so-called white men. Judgment got to come. We cannot do judgment, right? Even though the oppressors, we still let them. We don't do anything to them. We don't harm them. We don't do anything to them. Because we know vengeance is of the Most High, Yahweh. The scripture says, love your enemy. Right? The scripture says, love your enemy and do them good. We still do them good. We still work for them. Right? We still go to job and do the work, perform the work. Right? We still do it. But do they show mercy? No, they fire us like nothing. We get fired like nothing, man. I know a brother who just got it. He was just working for Esau. The brother just got fired. He just got laid off, man. A brother of mine, a friend of mine, he just got fired. He just got laid off, man. And the brother was telling me, he said, you know what? I just want to work with my own people. I just want to work with black people. I said, bro, hey, bro, that's what the Bible said, man. That's what the Most High say. But when evil does not happen, our people don't see. So the evil got to happen for our people to see. Or if the Most High did not smite him like that, for him to lose his job, he will not understand. He will not understand. The brother will not understand. But the Most High eventually smite him just to wake him up. I hope this will be his wake-up call. I hope so that this will be the wake-up call for brother. We always be the last to get higher and the first one to get fired. You just keep that in mind, man. So they don't have no shame, right? Right? Watch this. He said, then straw was wrapped around their torn bodies. Imagine now. And they were burned alive. They burned the people alive. Who did that? The wicked, man. Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. So keep in mind, man. Hey, just keep in mind, man. What are you talking about, man? Who did all this evil? That's what the scriptures say. They don't have no shame. Right? Like I say, they can rape your daughter right before you, man. They'll take your son and your daughter right from you. They don't have shame. Right? They don't have shame. That's the wicked, man. This book, man, this book is too deep, brother. You gotta have a very, very good spirit to read this book. Otherwise, you go off, brother. You gotta be very strong. I read the whole book. I read this whole book years ago. I read it maybe 5 to 6 years ago. I read this book. This book, if you ain't not strong in the spirit, listen, brother, I won't suggest that you read it. Don't read it. Because it's very graphical. Super, super graphical. Like, too much atrocity in this book. It's too much. It's too much, all right? So, hey, you can have it. You can buy it, but make sure you're in the spirit, man. Don't read it and go off. Don't go off. Don't start doing evil. You know, hey, you're going to stay in the spirit. You let the Most High deal with them. Let the Most High do the judgment. All right? Let the Most High do the vengeance. Let the Most High do the work. All right? You don't do anything. All right? Let the Most High do the work. All right? Let's go right here. All right? So let's continue about the motherland, right? Dealing about the motherland, which is Zion, which is what? Jerusalem or Yerushalayim. Let's go back to Baruch chapter 4 and verse 16. He said, these have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow. You see that? the dear beloved children of the widow. So, hey, so like your brother, we want to put out there for YouTube. You hear music in the background for YouTube. The music is not our music. We do not own the music, and we are not playing the music. Disclaimer, the music is not our music. We do not own the music. Because YouTube, they are trying to use this against us. Because they don't want the video to go out there, you know, to gain lighting, whatever they say, where, blah, 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 thing. We want to put out there, man. So disclaimer, the music is not our music. We do not own the music, and we are not playing it. All right, so let's read it. Let's finish it up. He said, so you see the word widow. The word widow always referring to what? To the woman, right? When the woman lost what? Her husband, okay? Like her husband or her children, things like that, right? You got to keep in mind. So however here, we know is what is in the sense of the spirit. Spiritually, it's talking about what? The motherland, Jerusalem, who is our mother, all right? So let's read it. Say, these have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow. The widow, Jerusalem is the widow. Jerusalem is the widow, right? 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 And left her that was alone, desolate without daughters. Imagine that. So the woman is desolate without daughters. Jerusalem, Yerushalayim. All right? Let us read verse 17. But what can I help you? For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hand of your enemy. You see, so the mother, the land is comforting us. This is the land comforting us. And this is the time that our forefather, right? Right? They were taken captive into war. Babylon under who? Nebuchadnezzar. And we're talking about the ancient Babylon, right? The ancient Babylon, all right? Which is today Iraq. In the Mesopotamia, right? Right? He said, but what can I help you? Right? But what can I help you? For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hand of your enemies. So it's the Most High who brought these plagues upon us. These curses, right? These curses, the Most High brought them upon us. Why? Because of disobedience. And that's the main reason why we gotta examine our own self, right? We got to make sure that we're doing everything as the scriptures say. If we need help, we got to holler at the brother. Yo, bro, how do you do this? Right? I've been struggling with it. Is there any way you can pray for me, bro? You can help me out? Hey, can you counsel me, brother? Hey, listen. Hey, that's the way we got to operate, man. All right, let us continue. Verse 19. Go your way, all my children. So you see that? It really says, go your way, all my children. So that's how you know literally is the motherland, right? It said, go your way, my children. Go your way, for I am left desolate, right? That's the land, that's money. And it's comforting us, right? Jerusalem is comforting us right now. The land is comforting us right now. It's comforting our people, our forefathers, right? To let us know, listen, whatsoever is happening, stay strong. He said, go your way, all my children. Go your way, for I am left desolate. The land is desolate, all right? He said, I put up the clothing of peace and put upon me the sackcloth of my prayer. I will cry unto the everlasting in my day. So the land, the mother, the woman saying, well, you know what? I'm a cry unto the Most High. I'm a cry unto the Most High Yahweh. In the day, I will cry unto the Most High. All right? Be of good cheer, O my children. Cry unto the Lord, and he shall deliver you from the power and hand of the enemy. You see that? It's plain and simple. All right? It's plain and simple. Very plain and simple. Let's bend back to Isaiah.